How often do you listen to your records these days? In fact, when was the last time you actually got a record out of your shelf, put it on your record player and played it? I can't remember how long ago it was since I played one of my records. I can remember that it was to convert the LP into MP3 files because that seems to be the only reason I play records these days. I'm not one of those that listens to music through one of the streaming alternatives, and I don't have one of those Alexa thingies. And I'm not saying I don't listen to music, because I do, every day. It's just that these days I've got so much music at the touch of a button that it's easy for me to find anything in my music collection within seconds if I desire. As much as people talk about how lovely hearing a record is compared to the digital format, after a lifetime of hearing music loud on a fairground ride or as a DJ, my hearing can't tell the difference anymore. And I don't know about you, but I don't seem to find the time anymore to do nothing other than sit and listen to an album whilst looking at the sleeve and reading whatever's on it. These days, I listen to music in the background while I'm doing something else. If I look around my office, which is where I seem to spend most of my time, I've got records on my shelves, records in my cupboards, and records stacked neatly around me. But if I'm honest, getting them out and playing them has become a bit of a chore. It now seems like too much hard work. I just don't seem to get the joy out of playing them that I used to. If it feels the same for you, or indeed if it's the opposite, please comment below and let me know from your perspective, because I'm really interested in that. And if you're liking the video, please hit that button. For me, whilst most of my collection is in this room, all of my collection is contained on a hard drive and backed up to others. The computer I work on daily has a jukebox on it, and I can load any of my albums and songs in a matter of seconds, and they can be playing all day without me having to pay attention to it. And yet I still buy records. When I see something I don't have, I can't help myself. Usually, if truth be told, I end up buying albums that used to be my parents' or that I used to own myself that I've become nostalgic about. And I may not even play them after they've been converted. It's just nice to have them on a hard drive so that I can play them every once in a while. I've still got albums and CDs, for that matter, that I've bought and I'm waiting to play so that they can be converted and added to my hard drive for playing at some stage. And once they've been converted, they won't be played again. And looking at this little selection of the last albums I've bought, I think you'll know why. I don't have music on my phone. I still use an MP3 player that I take with me when I go out for a walk, and I put it in the car. Even having my albums on hard drives are really easy to get to. I rarely play them anymore. I seem to play compilations more than the proper albums these days. And I've made my own folders that I play, such as 1,000 favourite songs, or my favourite album tracks, or the soundtrack of my life. You see, having been buying records since I was a kid, and being a collector who also bought records to play on the fair and for my disco, my collection stands at around 250,000 different songs. I've been converting my music over to MP3 since around 2002, and so my hard drives contain pretty much everything I'm ever likely to want to hear. Which always makes me wonder why I still buy LPs if I come across one that I fancy. Because I know that once I've played it and converted it, chances are I'll never play the record again. I've come to the conclusion that I no longer am as attached to my records as I used to be. In the 1990s, because of financial needs, I sold my entire collection. And I often wonder whether that was when my heart really went out of my love for the LP and record itself. It was really hard for me to use my record collection as a base for selling records on a market because I needed to earn a living. After I stopped doing markets, I started buying records again, but the truth was it was never quite the same for me. And when my marriage broke down in 2010, I left the majority of my collection behind, and after a couple of years, what was there ended up being taken to the tip. And so I'm now on my third collection, and truth be told, I'd happily sell all of them. Well, apart from my Beatles albums, which I've rebought over the last 10 years for a third time. But as I've just said, I just don't play them anymore. And I don't even get the inclination to when I can hear them easily via my hard drive. If you'd like to watch another music related video of mine, click up there.